Hi guys, welcome back to Let's Talk with Sistership Hills. My name's Leanne, spiritual life coach, energy healer and psychic medium. If you're new here, welcome, happy to have you. Today, I feel as though I'm going to be doing something slightly different. I was meditating on you guys' energy and seeing what message needs to come out this week for you guys. I did have something planned, but Spirit had something else planned. And that was, Spirit gave me the Eight of Swords energy. So Spirit wants me to talk about breaking free from the mental prison that we sometimes put ourselves in, the feeling of being stuck, trapped by indecision or the uncertainty of what's coming next. What do you need to know, or how things are going to work out? The message that's, part of the message that Spirit wants me to say is that we need to stop overthinking and start remembering. And this is a running theme within my videos. No matter what subject I tap on, spiritual subject I tap on, it comes down to self-love and remembering your worth, remembering your power. And so this is another reminder, but in terms of a different aspect for everybody. This is the moment where you release, from this point in time, being in this Eight of Swords energy, you release the illusion of limitations here. You get clear on what you want and you take action towards it, but not from fear, but from a place of having faith. And I was sitting here thinking, just before I hit the record button, thinking it doesn't matter what spiritual belief you have or religious belief you have, there's always a calling to have a level of faith, to have some faith in a higher aspect of the universe. So again, it comes back down to that essence of having faith in yourself and with whoever you believe in. That they are on your side, that they're working with you, that you're able to move through this energy, and that things will improve, get better, and you'll come out of this mental fog or imbalance to a certain degree. The Eight of Swords is often misunderstood because some people can perceive it as an energy of failure or of punishment. But this energy is all about perception here. Some people may feel blindfolded, that they're unable to see the path ahead or unsure what to do next. It's one of those ones where, you can see how it's depicted in there. She's sitting behind these swords, all feeling sad. She's holding on to them as if, she has to be there, as if she's in a prison. But it's not the case. It's all about perception. So you may feel trapped in your circumstances. This is what making me feel that Spirit wanted me to do this video on, that you may feel trapped in your circumstances or in your relationships, or still feeling connected to your past relationships. You don't feel as though you've broken free and you're doing all the overthinking whether you've made a right choice. Whether you're going to, feel lonely now, or whether you're fearing your future. It could be in terms of your job, you're fearing your job security, or you're unhappy in your job and you want to take that leap of faith, eventually take that leap of faith, but you're up in your head about how to do it. How am I going to pay the bills if I go, maybe come out of work and go back into training? How are you going to pay the bills with a reduction of income coming into the household? And also it's about your identity. It's about the fact that Spirit wants you to remember who you are. Again, going back to your power here. The swords it's reminding you that these swords are all your mental thoughts, and they're not holding you to anything. But your mind is trapping you here, which is why you feel which is why the depiction is she's behind these swords, but she can easily walk around them. She can easily take them out and say, frig it, I'm not dealing with this anymore, or I'm moving through this energy anyway. So the Spirit calls for a change to happen. The first thing that happens is that we go into, overthinking, we go into overdrive, overthinking, and there isn't no movement in action. We start with the thinking, we start with the thought processes here. We start questioning ourselves. What if I fail? You know, if things won't be a success, what if I make the wrong choice? What if I'm alone? What if I make a mistake? What if I'm not ready? All these things start running through our head, and when we're being called, and we know we're being called because we can feel it within our being. We can feel the fact that there's a shift and something needs to change. And it does call for us to be honest with ourselves, first and foremost, to be honest with ourselves that we're not, you know, I said to you in my last video, I think it was, that I'm all about breaking the illusion that we are not trapped unless we choose to be trapped. And it's about us being honest with ourselves on the journey, where we're going. So we begin to question, and we put ourselves in this invisible cage. As you can see, fear becomes another sword standing in front of us, an extra sword from the other things, all the questions that we've been, or all the other things that we've been thinking here. But the truth is, the Eight of Swords wants you to remember. It wants you to remember that being trapped is not outside of yourself, it's within. It's you replaying these stories over and over again in your mind, all these limited thoughts that keep you small. Spirit doesn't want to keep you small, doesn't want to keep you trapped here. Again, remembering your power. Who are you? Who are you? And it's also about who are you becoming? You are not the same person that you was last year. You are becoming new. You're coming into your essence, your soul essence here. So it's about you recognizing these things and moving through with least resistance. If you want change, moving through with least resistance here. Every time we meet change, we meet the unknown. It's very much a fact of meeting the unknown. And the unknown, as we know, it doesn't always feel comfortable, which is why sometimes it takes us a while to take some sort of action, to take some leap of faith. And that's all because we want a level of proof. We want a level of proof to let us know. We want some sort of sign to let us know, oh, it's safe. It's safe to take action. It's safe to move away from that person. It's safe for me to take that job. It's safe for me to move across the country. It's safe for me to, you know, start having children now, or to live how I want to live, and, you know, come out, I'm gay now, whatever the case may be. So our thoughts begin to circle, replaying all old moments, memories, past disappointments where, you know, where we felt as though we've made the wrong decision. And we call it overthinking, but really it's the mind trying to keep us in the familiar. Our mind wants to keep us in the familiar so it feels safe, because when it feels safe, it feels as though it's in control. And that's where spirit comes in. That's where your trust comes in, because spirit wants you to trust the universe, trust spirit, whoever you believe in, and release the control. It's about you taking aligned action, one step at a time here. So your soul may be whispering, go, let's make some movement, but your thoughts will be telling you to wait. Your brain is telling you to wait. And that's what we call the tension. There's tension between your higher self wanting to guide you and lead you into alignment here, into a fulfillment, into prosperity, and all the good things in life, and having the right perspective on life. And then the other side of you, your thought processes, is asking you to stay in comfort with your old self, not to grow here. So this is the moment where the Eight of Swords offers you the moment of liberation. You are able to take a breath and take one small step and start to loosen the grip that you have on these thoughts here. In some of the tarot card depictions, she's actually got a blindfold on. So again, when you start to have faith and take one small breath, one breath and one step towards something that feels right for you, the blindfold starts to loosen, and slowly you start to see your way. And I'll always say this, that spirit doesn't want you to see your whole path ahead. It would be too overwhelming. And what's the point of that, when, you know, and also the fact that you probably wouldn't even believe the things that will come into your life once you start aligning, once you start having faith. So why give it all away? It's all part of the journey, learning about yourself on the journey and what's to become, who you are becoming, and that. But what's good is the fact that Spirit doesn't want you to figure it out. Like I said, Spirit doesn't want you to see the whole path ahead, doesn't want you to figure it all out. You just need to remember that your power was never lost. You only doubted it. Whether it was for a minute, a week, or whatever, you only doubted it. But it was never lost. Yes, you don't need to figure it out at all. You don't need to have a full, life plan or anything like that. It's just about you remembering your power, that you never lost your power. You only doubted yourself for a short period of time, and you got back into the swing of things. And I'm not going to lie, it does feel lonely sometimes, because obviously when we're taking action, we are removing ourselves away from old energy, old habits, and even old relationships here that no longer match our vibration. And it can be tricky to do that. But it's knowing the fact that this loneliness isn't a punishment. It's almost like the pause between chapters. It's Spirit clearing the way for new aligned people to come into your life here. And it's something that I very much have gone through. When I first started this journey, I had a really good friend that I worked with, that we met through work, over 20 years ago now. And we had a great friendship. The kids met up, and we would have nights out together, and we enjoyed the same music, and our sense of humour was the same. We connected. But as I grew on my spiritual journey and I started learning more about myself, I noticed that our connection wasn't the same. I didn't want the same things. I wasn't connecting with her the same way that I used to. And I thought to myself, if I stayed, I would be stuck in that energy still. But I very much wanted to take action and move forward and evolve. And, I had to lovingly say to this friend that I feel as though we don't have anything in common anymore. And you haven't done anything wrong, but I'm going to take a step back from this friendship, because I feel it's the best for both of us. We're not connecting the same. So it was the best thing that I could do. So it's very much something that I've been through. And it's not easy, like I said, but it's one of those things where I had to be honest with myself, and I had to be honest with the person that it involved as well. So that you might find, when you're ready, that you are having certain types of conversations or going through certain things, because you are releasing old energy, because you're taking action. You're coming out of this 8 of Swords energy of overthinking and taking aligned action towards the things that you want to. So when these overthinking thoughts come into play, it's recognizing the fear and the what ifs and the doubts, and it's for you then to say, I see you. I see all what you're trying to do, the confusion, the distraction. You're trying to distract me with all these thoughts, but I'm choosing freedom anyway. I'm choosing to move forward anyway, because freedom doesn't come. It doesn't come when you lose fear. It actually comes when you begin to walk through it despite feeling the fear. You'll continue feeling the fear, and it's about you moving through it anyway, moving through this energy anyway, seeing yourself expand. So know that the discomfort that you feel when you're going through this 8 of Swords isn't failure. Use it as a sign of guidance, that your soul is whispering to you that you've outgrown certain patterns, people, places, and things. And it doesn't, straight away, it doesn't call for you to have courage, because courage comes when you take action. So it's about you, again, like I said, being honest with yourself, and then taking one small step. Even if you have to research whatever it is, if you will need to research a new job or a location because you're moving, or because you've been overthinking because of, I don't know, something that you're going through with your children and you want some specialist help, start researching and taking the steps towards, because once you take those steps towards what it is that you feel as though it aligns with you, you then get a sense of clarity. Clarity starts to, and clarity helps you to build the momentum in moving forward, stepping into your power and moving forward into the life that you desire here, the life that you are calling in for yourself, because you're leaving, what no longer serves you behind. So if you do want change, know that change doesn't wait for you to be ready. It's not about, when I think to myself as well, like starting a business, and other people starting a business, oh, I'm going to wait, I haven't got all the equipment yet, or I don't have a computer, or I don't have this and X, Y, and Z. You are always going to have something that you can think negatively about and think of the lack that you don't have in order for you to start this new life, or to make aligned action towards what it is that you want. But don't allow that to stop you. Don't allow that to stop you. Take one step at a time, and you will see the momentum, and things will fall into place for you, because Spirit wants you to evolve, wants you to expand and grow beyond your comfort zone here. Very much grow beyond your comfort zone. Definitely. So I feel called to pull a couple of cards, clarifying cards. When I say clarifying cards, cards of guidance for you guys within this message. Anything else that I may have left out that Spirit wants me to voice. Here we go. Okay, so you've got 3 cards. You've got love. The first one is love, and it says, love surrounds all your connections. Move forward positively in all areas of your life. Again, guidance to move forward. It's knowing the fact that you are love. So it's knowing the fact that because you are love anyway, it's knowing the fact that you are whole. You are whole within who you are here. So it's not asking for other people's approval or guidance or anything. You seek your own guidance within, because it will lead you where you need to go here. You've also got plane. Again, a movement card, movement of destination here. A journey is indicated either physically or metaphorically. Your life will become more full. So this, again, the urging you to move forward, expand your horizons, whether it's physically traveling because you're going on holiday, or because your Spirit is urging you to take action here. Wants you to live the life that you desire. And you've got the Phoenix. You're rising from the ashes. You're rising from this 8 of Swords energy into something magnificent here. Be prepared to be renewed after a period of crisis. And maybe that's why Spirit called me to do a video on this 8 of Swords energy, because some of you feel as though you've been overthinking in this crisis period, that you feel burned out, worn out with the overthinking, a loss of direction. Let's get a message from your angels. Angels, what message does my collective need to hear today? Message of guidance. Message of guidance, Spirit. Last shuffle. Preparation. Preparation, you've got life is filled with, so it's 143, your angel number. It says life is filled with phases. The whisper is telling you to prepare for the unexpected and allow change to pass through with a sense of peace. Financial and creative changes are upon you. So financial changes and creative changes. This could be you getting into your creative endeavors. It could be you singing, making music. It could be painting. It could be, any sort of creative endeavors. And the fact that maybe financial gain is on the horizon through these creative endeavors here. Maybe starting a business or something. Your affirmation is, my dreams and desires are coming to fruition, bringing change that I welcome with an open heart. Love, with an open heart and mind. Okay, so you are moving through this energy. Spirit is urging you to move through this energy, knowing the fact that when you start taking small steps, things are going to become clearer on your path here. Do not stay in the 8 of Swords energy. Do not stay in that energy of your mind wanting to keep you safe, keep you stuck in a sense, because you are ready for something new. You are ready for something new, and new is what you're calling in here. So go with the flow, release, surrender. So when you start to plan, another thing I want to say, when you start to plan and do your research and everything, release the outcome. Spirit knows what your heart is desiring here. So release, pocket watching, looking at the numbers on social media, release the end result. Just plan your next step, because you're going there. And the universe, Spirit, whoever you're working with, is going to meet you where you're at. Well, I hope this video helps you guys. Let me know if it resonates and everything. And if you need support at any time in terms of getting out of this overthinking, releasing this old energy of yourself, and stepping into alignment, stepping into your power, you know, you by all means book a one-to-one session with me, and I can support you in doing that. Let's, you know, allow me to help you in terms of coaching you in this journey. It's what I'm here for. Take care, guys. Have a lovely weekend, and I'll speak to you soon.